Greetings, dear viewers. I'm George from Ireland. Here I am in front of Edinburgh Castle, the east side of Edinburgh Castle, which is the only gateway in. So a great advantage being having only one approach because it's on Edinburgh Rock, this long dead volcano. And it's got these vertiginous slopes to the north, to the south and to the west. So you can only get in this way. You see above the doorway the coat of arms, well, that shield with a gold shield with a lion rampant, a symbol of Scotland on it, and the crest is the crown. And then there are these two knightly figures flanking the gateway. A little bit of a moat. If we come closer, we'll see there's a little bit of a moat. There was never very much water in there. Just a little bit of rainwater there. Anyway, so Ptolemy mentions people living here in the 2nd century AD, and indeed there are Iron Age remains here. So there's been a castle here throughout recorded history. Certainly there was quite a considerable castle here in the 10th century AD. So we're going to have a look down into the moat. No water there, you can see just gravel. There would have been. I'm not sure they ever could have had a drawbridge here. So very worth visiting, though it is pricey, and you can have a look at the number of people visiting. So I've been coming to Edinburgh almost all my life, and the number of tourists has increased enormously, and also the diversity of their nationalities. There are huge numbers of Chinese tourists visiting North Britain, and in my childhood I never remember meeting a single one. There were a few Japanese tourists, that's it. So because it's August, the Edinburgh Festival is on. Been going since 1947. The main festival at a few theatres, some proper theatrical companies performing. There's a Fringe Festival with, over 50,000 performances over 25 days of stand-up comedy, magic tricks, juggling, things like that. As well as the television festival, the book festival, and the Edinburgh Tattoo. So this is the esplanade of Edinburgh Castle, the sort of parade ground in front of Edinburgh Castle. And so for the whole of August, they put up this temporary seating, and they can seat 8,800 people a night. There's one performance every day, and there's two on Saturdays, and they come here. So tickets start at £60, and they're various marching bands, these military displays by the British Army and many other armies. They got the flags of those performing who are up this year, like the United States Army, the Japanese Army, the Italian Army. I could go on and on and on, many. And unfortunately, it's uncharacteristically calm, the air. So because the atmosphere is becalmed, you don't see the flags billowing out. But the far end, above the commentary box, you would see the flags of the RAF on sky blue background, and the Royal Navy and the British Army, as well as the Union flag, that's the flag of the United Kingdom, and so forth. So it ends about 10:30, and there's a firework display to end the 2-hour show. So you don't want to be anywhere at the top of the Royal Mile coming up to 8:30 when the Edinburgh Tattoo is about to begin. A tattoo is not as in ink under the skin, but is a certain tune which is beat out of the drums to signal come back to barracks. You know, it's evening time. Obviously they wouldn't be beating this at wartime usually. At peacetime, the soldiers, they're at leisure, they're in the town, going to the taverns no doubt, saying come back. It's lights out, as it were. So that's the Edinburgh Tattoo, and it always ends with a lone piper playing the pibroch, as in this lament for the fallen, and he'll play it from the battlements of Edinburgh Castle. So go into Edinburgh Castle. It's huge and fascinating. Got the Scottish regalia, as in what the King of Scots and the Queen of Scots would wear, various ancient cannon, and a huge collection of weapons. So very historic place. And you can see St. Margaret's Chapel, that tiny chapel there. Obviously the castle, it closes at least an hour before the tattoo because they've got to get the tourists out. They've got to have the space open for ready for the performance to begin, and all the people are going to go to the show to file up into their seats up there. And obviously, depending where you're sitting, the seat can be more or less expensive. So Edinburgh Castle also gives you a fantastic panorama over the city. Okay, but watch out for the 1 o'clock gun. That's fired every day, with the exception of Sundays, Good Friday, and Christmas Day. So the 1 o'clock gun, there's no actual shell that's fired. It's a blank, obviously, so a jet of flame shoots out and a bit of smoke, Yes, there's a loud report which re-echoes around the stone walls of the city, but no, they're not going to shell their own city. It was useful to ships in the Firth of Forth, just a few miles north of here. They knew it was 1 o'clock in the old days when they didn't have reliable timepieces themselves. Oh, and another thing I should have pointed out, under the coat of arms there, you will see the Latin words, Nemo me impune lacessit, nobody wounds me with impunity. Okay, lacessit, a bit like lacerate. So that's the motto of many Scots regiments of the British Army. There's a constable of the castle who's formally in charge of it, looking after it, because the monarch is not here to do so herself, and that is an honorary position. It is ex officio the general officer commanding the British ground forces in Scotland. So he doesn't actually spend most of his time here. Somewhere north of the Firth of Forth in Fife, that's where the HQ of the British Army in Scotland is. All right, that's probably everything you need to know about the Edinburgh Tattoo. I saw it once, and really there's no equal of it in the world. It does sometimes go on tour. There are various other military tattoos in Basel and elsewhere, where some regiments from here perform. Even if you're like me, a complete civilian, not really into militaria, I think you'll find it entertaining.